firewood for feeding our animals. Just got to the point where I couldn't believe it. And one day at one of our son's wedding, right after the wedding, I walked over, was going to go into the restroom and had to stop and just could not breathe. And then I was feeling weak and feeling very tired. I woke up on the morning of August 28th last year, 2015, and I was literally unable to breathe normally. And so I had to get up out of bed just to try to force air into my lungs. And my wife, Sandy, was not with me at the time. She was down in North Carolina helping one of our children prepare to move. And so I was on my own. And so I just figured I better go get this checked out. This is where it gets fuzzy. I remember I came in, parked in the emergency room parking lot, went in, and just said very low-pitched voice, "I can't breathe." They took me into an emergency room setting, put oxygen on me almost immediately, and in a short period of time had me admitted and started, that day started running tests.
They began to feel that he had an infection because of the kidneys the numbers being so bad with the kidneys and being in failure. And they did a biopsy, and it showed infection, but it didn't show the source. And so that's when they decided that he needed to go to OSU to do more tests to discern where is this infection in his body that the numbers were so pointing to that. So it was there at OSU that they discovered it was staph, and then of course they had to use different antibiotics to see which would take care of the staph. But they realized with it being staph, they were concerned about possible infection in the mouth. We had the option of going back to Columbus for the open heart surgery because the test definitely showed it was damaged. That not only was his mitral valve damaged, but it was destroyed, and it was just absolutely necessary. And so our Dr. Byler told us about Dr. Cruzzavala, and I remembered I had met him before a few years ago and had heard good reports about him. But while we were at Camden Park, after he had had a stroke, in this season of his health care, we were on the ICU unit, and they were telling us about Dr. Cruzzavala and about the wonderful team that he has.
Dr. Cruzzavala was very interactive with me whenever he'd come in and check in on me, and that provided a comfort level to be able to get some questions answered, to hear from the expert, and to feel a bit of a relationship developing that was going to give some assurance that I'm in good hands.
Dr. Cruzzavala said, he just kept saying, "Your husband's going to be fine." And so we were very confident going into the surgery. They had him out of bed that day. That day. And they were walking you down the hall.
I did definitely quicker than a week. A week later, I was strolling the hall pretty good. Peter. I guess that day. My parents lived to be quite elderly. My dad did. He was in his 90s before he passed. My mother was in her mid-70s, and before she passed, and that was from some affliction that had come through years and years and years of tobacco use. But as far as hereditary tendencies, I don't know of anything. The advice I would give: do what you can do to help yourself be healthy, stay healthy, practice what you learn to be healthy lifestyle. Protect the heart, because if your heart goes, you go, typically. But because of the great work that Dr. Cruzzavala and his team did, here I am. And I feel more.
Dr. Cruzzavala's team of nurses were just gave us extreme care and a lot of education.
Yes.
A lot of what to expect and why we would need to take Coumadin and of course when he had his anemia, they would make suggestions of what to do. But the team, in such, what would you say, their attitude was just very uplifting and very encouraging. With us not having much need for medical attention in the past, and then all of a sudden we did, we were pleased to find out that we had such good care here at home, that we didn't have to go away, and we're staying here.
It's probably so great